What the powers that be are trying to do as more and more people awaken is to clamp down. They can't suppress the information, so they're going to try and clamp down, suppress people individually through the incremental building of a scientific dictatorship. And there's a huge backlash happening. I mean, we see it with these full-body X-ray scanners that they're introducing into airports worldwide. Which is a gross violation of our privacy, and these machines they emit terahertz ionizing radiation, and they've been shown to cause cancer and tear apart DNA. You don't want to be going through these things. There is a massive backlash happening. Lawsuits are being filed, and people are making a stand, and that's the most important thing, that people learn to say no again. Very important that you stand up and you become aware of your own power.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you perceive the role of the alternative media? I mean, it is a growing genre of media. More and more people are coming into awareness. What do you think the role of alternative media is? You are obviously establishing yourself very bravely as an info warrior, with much respect from people. Where do you see alternative media evolving forward?
Well, you know, there are aspects of the alternative media that, like the mainstream media, are controlled also. We have to be, you know, careful where we go to. Basically the sources of information within the alternative media that are not, say, not being honest about 9/11 and not letting people know about the inconsistencies and irregularities would be a concern of mine, and so they would be those sources I would stay away from, like Democracy Now!, like Alternet, like some, you know, if they haven't passed the 9/11 litmus test, which is an important one to pass, well then I'm not interested in getting any information from there whatsoever. And I think people are as you go along, as you educate yourself, you develop a fairly decent degree of discernment, and you can establish for yourself, you know, what rings true or what doesn't, depending on your experience, and that is important. But I mean, as a whole, the alternative media is important. Very important that there is another avenue for information open to us outside of the mainstream media. I'm not saying that the mainstream media is all bad, it's not. It's just, it's not what they're telling us, it's what they're not telling us, and particularly in relation to 9/11 and 7/7, which were very obvious false flag operations when you use your own mind, you know, your own independent mind, and start looking into these. So, I mean, it's very, very important, and thankfully the alternative media has gained the high ground over the mainstream media, and most people are now getting their sources from their information from sources that they feel they can trust better, like the alternative media.
How do you feel that people can help contribute and accelerate this process of awareness?
Seek the truth and share the truth. That's the most important thing, you know. What is the truth? What is the truth about 9/11? Is it true that 19 hijackers armed with box cutters, orchestrated by a guy in a cave, carried out that attack? I mean, when you look at, there you are straight away, you've got anomalies, because at least 8 of those hijackers have turned up alive, as was reported by the Times in London. So very, very important that we seek the truth, you know, and to share it with as many people as possible, regardless of the ridicule that comes our way. Because, you know, when you go deeply into this, it's not just a battle for hearts and minds. In the information war, I believe it's also a battle for souls.
And how do you see things shaping up for the future? Do you reckon we're on the winning side? Do you see hope? Are you an optimist? Is it going to get worse before it gets better?
Well, I know that we're on the winning side, but I believe it probably is going to get worse before it gets better, as more and more people are waking up. Ultimately, I have great hope and great aspirations for mankind. Very important that as we do take action, and we do need to take action, it's not, you can't just sit and meditate, you know, which is very powerful as well, but it's not going to be sufficient, I believe, to pray and meditate over what is coming, even though it's very important. But we got to take action ourselves, and when I mean action, I mean being aware of your own power, saying no to the system that is seeking to enslave us, literally, and to get out and let our so-called leaders know, you know, basically, you know, get them to start listening to their employers, and we are their employers. And it's very important that we do this completely non-violently. There must be no violence. And I agree with the whole notion of peaceful mass non-compliance. That's the way that it's going to happen. Very important. I think that when people are protesting, that they must be very aware of agent provocateurs that are going to be thrown into the mix, as the police were found to be agent provocateuring in the G20, the last G20 meeting in Canada. Mm-hmm. So those people are causing violence, which we will probably come across, and they need to be pushed back into the police lines where they belong. So very aware. Yeah, I just hope that it's going to be completely peaceful, because we're not going to achieve anything by using violence.
Absolutely. And Jim, do you have any last message for humanity?
Last messages. Yeah, I would just say that message to humanity: just be very hopeful, be very positive about what is coming. You know, this is like the rebirthing of the entire planet. You know, and it's the rebirthing of ourselves individually as we grow more into empathy and compassion for each other. And it's a beautiful thing that is happening. It's important to be, yes, very aware of what the dark workers are doing and what their agenda is, but also to be mindful of the billions of really, really good people on this planet who are genuinely out for the advancement of humankind, for the positive advancement of humankind. And like I said before, it's very, very important that we seek the truth and that we share the truth with other people.
Yeah.
Very important.
Absolutely. Well, Jim, it's an honour and a privilege to have you to contribute to Freedom Central. On behalf of all those who are part of this dynamic process, we thank you for your time today and your efforts overall. So much respect, and hope to work with you again soon sometime.
Thank you. It was lovely talking.